Today we have an important topic to consider, which is known as cumulative frequency. Now it is used in many other applications. Everybody has heard about frequency. The concept of frequency is very much similar to all of us, because very familiar to all of us, because we have seen it in many sums. It has been used in arithmetic mean, deviation, in every type of the basic standard deviation or statistical sums. This is present, frequency is present. Now before we get into median, mode or any other concepts which involve somehow cumulative frequency, you need to understand what cumulative frequency is and what are the different types of cumulative frequency. So if you are about to start off with median or any other topic concerning cumulative frequency, I would recommend you watch this entire concept. So write down cumulative frequency. Now cumulative frequency basically deals with accumulation. What do you mean by accumulation? To add up, basically to add up. If you are familiar with accounts, then you will understand the concept of accumulation and depreciation. Otherwise, accumulation is basically stocking up or keeping on adding the different figures that we get from frequency. So now there is a very general concern about what the two types of cumulative frequency are and how they are calculated. We have two types, more than and less than. Also in graphical representation of data, we have the concept of ogives, which is calculated using these two tools. Now ogive, it will be very hard to make and even to understand the sum if you do not understand cumulative frequency. So we'll just take a very short example of what cumulative frequency is. For example, the frequency denoted by small f, what has been given to you in your sum, is supposedly 5, 10, again 10, any figures you can take, 7, 8, and then again I will take 5. Fine. Suppose these are the sets of numbers that you have been given as frequency. Now they can be repetitive. Unlike class, they can be repetitive. So now it has been given to us to calculate the cumulative frequency. What you have been doing, or the basics you have learned till now, must be this 5 is to be, the first item should be the same. The first figure that you write down should be same as frequency, because there is nothing to add before it. Next, what we do, we add 5 with 10. With the next figure we add the cumulative frequency that we have got. 5 plus 10 comes down to again 15. Then again we add 15 and 10. What we get is 25. 25 and 7. Try to understand this thing. Many people, what they do is 5 plus 10, then 10 plus 10. You have to write down the added result along with the cumulative frequency that you have got. 15 plus 10, 25 plus 7, 32. Then again you add 32 with 8, you get 40. And then again you add 40 with 5 and you get 45. This is the cumulative frequency that you get. Now what we did here is basically, again I'll just repeat once more, frequency, the first cumulative frequency is going to be same as the frequency, because there is nothing to add before frequency. Next comes 10. So you can basically add the first two and write the second one, or the result that you have got from cumulative frequency plus the second item. Then whatever result you get in the second item added with the third item of the frequency, you get cumulative. Like this, what you see, the end result is 45. Now to check whether all the cumulative frequencies are right or not, what you can do is perform a cross check by adding all the frequencies. Add up everything, you should be getting 45. If you get 45, then this particular result and this particular result should match. Both the 45, or approximately what we can write down is, the last cumulative frequency that we get should be equal to n, and n is summation f. Okay, this is the basic concept of how we have how we have studied, done cumulative frequency. Now we'll get into some different types of cumulative frequency and the details of it. Okay, so more than and less than. We'll start afresh with this entire concept. So write down, I would suggest you write down a new sum, and seeing this video you will not have a problem, but I would suggest you take a sheet of paper or something, anything, a diary or notebook, just work this particular sum out. It will be very easy for you. So we'll take a sum. First we'll be doing less than, and then we'll be doing more than. So supposedly in your sum, class has been given and frequency has been given. (40 to 50) and 50 to 60. Then we can take any other frequency, 5, 10, 15, then again we'll take like 7, 8, then again we'll take 5. Fine. Now this thing we have done. Clear? Now before learning how to calculate frequency from more than or less than, we'll try to make it. If you are trying to make a question, you'll know how to solve it also. Okay. So now let us find out how the more than and less than sums are prepared, or how we can find out the more than type or less than type frequency. First we'll be taking the less than type. Less than class. And then we'll be taking the more than class later on. So considering less than, what our answer, what the question looks like is less than 10, less than 20. Look at the class, the upper limit, the upper boundaries of the individual classes, less than 10, which involves all the frequencies involved from 0 till 10. Obviously a class cannot go down below 0. So if anybody asks you, suppose these are the marks of candidates in a class. So how many people have scored below 10? Now obviously they cannot score below 0. So the limit that we get, the lower limit is 0 always. So 0 to 10 we got. This is 5, so less than 10. Less than 20, whenever we are writing less than 20, it involves or it includes this particular frequency also. How? If we say the marks of students is below 10 is 5, that means the number of pupils who have attained marks from 0 to 10 are 5. But if we say the number of students who have scored below 20, it refers to all the students who have got even who have scored even lesser than 10. Clear? Ab idhar mein less than 20, next less than 30, less than 40, less than 50, less than 60. This was the highest limit. Nobody has scored more than 60, so there is no question of more than 60 here. Clear? Now we write down the cumulative frequency. The cumulative frequency. So less than 10, what do you mean by less than 10? From 0 to 10, how many people have scored? 5. When we are saying less than 20, it also involves this particular class along with this class. This frequency added up with this frequency comes down to 15, 10. Then what we see, less than 30. Less than 30 is to be added with the result that we have got here. Less than 30 involves the people who have scored below 10 as well as people who have scored below 20 as well as people who have scored below 30. So we add these three. What do we get? 30. Next, less than 40. We add up 30 and 7, 37. Then 37 and 8. The last that we get is 50. How to cross check? The total of frequency should be equal to 50. Clear? This is how we are basically finding out if our result is right or not. Now let's do it in the opposite manner. For example, these two datas are given and we have to find out the class and the frequency. Now let's check. If in our sum it has been mentioned less than 10 and the figure that has been given 5, that means people, how much can they score? A minimum 0, not lesser than that. So the lowest limit can be 0. And what is the highest that we have in this particular class? 10. 0 to 10. How many people are there? 5. Now what they have mentioned, less than 20. So we put a division mark in between of these two. The first we have 10, next we have 20, next we have 30. So in the sum we observe that there is a common gap between all the observations. So 20 in the second observation. So 10 to 20. 10 to 20. We have to maintain a gap of 10 in each and every particular class that we make. 10 to 20. It has been given 15 cumulative frequency. How many people were there in less than 10? 5. So we have to reduce 5 from 15. Otherwise, if we write down the lowest limit here is 10, then it also includes, it should not include people who are there in this particular class. So what we do, we write down 10, 15 minus 5. Next what we get, 20 to 30. Here what we will do, 30 minus 15, all the people who are below 20 are automatically excluded. 30 minus 15 comes down to 15. Then again 30 to 40, 37 minus 30, 40 to 50, 45 minus 37, then 50 to 60, 50 minus 45. Again you check the frequency, it comes down to 50. The exact same question that was given, we just reversed it and found out another answer. Fine. So in exam, if this particular question is given, leaving these two out, then what we get, we can calculate this from this. One of the data has to be given. It is always mentioned in the sum. Fine. This is how you calculate the less than cumulative frequency. Now we will be coming down to more than cumulative frequency. There is nothing more to this particular series. This is what maximum, the questions can give. Above this, there is like basically nothing in cumulative frequency that you can do, except for the fact that you can prepare ogives to find out the median. Otherwise, it's not necessary. Okay? Just get the basic idea so that you can, easily concentrate on the sums. It basically deals with accumulation, either in an ascending order or in a descending order. So we come to more than. Suppose this is the sum that we have been given. Now we had to find out the more than cumulative frequency. So what we did, what can be the least item that is available? 0. So this, if we write down in a particular class, how many people have scored more than 0? It involves everybody. It involves everybody. So more than 0 will include everyone in the list. Comes down to how much? 50. What is the total number of people that we have? 50. Okay. Now it has been given more than 10. More than 10. So how many people have to be excluded? In a class, there are total 50 people. Everybody scored more than 0. 0 is also included in this. So including 0, everybody has scored. The total number of people who are there in the class is 50. Now if we say more than 10, that means people who have scored below 10 have to be excluded from this, have to be excluded from this. So 50 minus the number of people who are below 10. 0 to 10 frequency is 5. So we will exclude 5 from 50, comes down to 45. Again, More than 0 involves the total frequency, but when we say more than 10, it excludes the people who have scored from 0 to 10. So we subtract this number from the total one. 50 minus 5 comes down to 45. Okay. So more than 10 people, more than 10 marks is obtained by 45 people. Next we come to more than 20. Now more than 20 excludes this as well as this. So what we do, 45 minus 10 comes down to 35. 35. Then 35 minus 15. First one is 50, 50 minus 5, 45, 45 minus 10, 35, 35 minus 15, 20, 20 minus 7, 13. Then 13 minus 8, 5. Okay. No total needed to be calculated here. So automatically what you see, this particular column has been reversed. Very easy. Now in the sum, usually they give you the maximum limit. For example, this thing was easy. Maximum how many people? 50. Then we reduce 5 from it. 45 minus 10, 35, 35 minus 15, 20 minus 7, 13 minus 8, 5. This is the entire concept. And this 5 should be equal to the last particular result. So more than 50, automatically it means 50 to 60 has come down to 5. Okay. Now suppose we try the reverse option. For example, only this has been given. Try to compute it yourself, but I will be following. You can pause the video and try it yourself first. So when it has been given more than 10, more than 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, we automatically know the class interval should be of 10. So 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 40, 50 to 60. Okay. So more than 0 they have given, more than 0. That involves all the people. So total, write down 50. Total 50. More than 10, more than 10. It involves all the people. It involves all the people who have scored above 10. Above 10. So if we subtract the total number of people from all the people who have scored above 10, we get people who have scored from 0 to 10. 50 minus 45 will give us 5. It becomes 0 to 10. Again, 50 is the total number of people. Minimum marks is 0. Whatever we have been given is more than 10. That is 45. So if we subtract these two, we will get what? The number of people who have scored below 10, and the least they have scored is 0. So 0 to 10, 5 people. Next, more than 20. More than 20. So whatever we will be getting the result, 50 minus 35. 15. Okay. Then more than 20 we have done, 15. Then more than 30. That means how many people have scored more than 30 is 20. So whatever is below that is people who have scored below 20. Here also we need to do a correction. Okay, let's just cross check it. For example, yeah, this thing comes down to 5. Okay. More than 20. So that involves people. If we reduce 50 minus 35, it is giving us how much? 15. Now 15 is what? The people who have scored below 20. But again, this is people who have scored below 20, less than 20. Now we have to reduce people who have scored below 10. So 20 से कम कितना लोग का आया? We see 15. Now 15 is to be reduced by 5, gives us 10. Like that we'll do. 50 minus 20 gives us what? 30. 30 minus 10 minus 5 gives us 15. Then 50 minus 13 gives us 37. Minus 15 minus 10 minus 5. 7. Then 8, then 5. Cross check. So this is the basic concept that you should know about cumulative frequency, less than and more than. Otherwise nothing is there which can come out of syllabus. Everything is just easy after you know how to understand cumulative frequency, because in exams what they can do, they can give you general sums with class and frequency, but many of you get confused when they give cumulative frequency, less than, more than. If they supposedly given exams, then you get confused about what to do. This is okay? Total you add up comes down to 50. Clear?